Sunrise, the start of every new day, and the name of our leopard catamaran. Come and join Russ and Margy as they jump in to their adventure, sailing the world.
After exploring Susui in the south of Vanua Balavu, we sailed back up to the north of Vanua Balavu and anchored overnight in this beautiful anchorage. The next morning, which happened to be my birthday, we sailed around into the Bay of Islands, which is just sort of a little bit west of where we are there in that picture, and spent a whole day kayaking, snorkeling, swimming, and generally absorbing this absolutely exquisite spot. It has a lot of these high overhanging cliffs which make it look a bit like Ha Long Bay in Vietnam that I've always wanted to go to. So it was an absolute pleasure to just hang around this place for a day and enjoy its beauty.
In amongst all these little islands while we're running around in the tender and our kayaks, you really did feel like you're the only one on earth.
One of the holy grails for most sailors who go to Fiji is to visit the Southern Lao Group, which is south of where we are here in Vanua Balavu. It is actually quite difficult to get to, and not everyone makes it. The reason it's difficult to get to is you've basically got to sail southeast from most places in Fiji to get to the Southern Lao, and as the prevailing winds are from the southeast, you've really got to be quite lucky to get a weather window to get down there. And unfortunately we didn't get a weather window to get down there, but we felt so lucky to have had such a beautiful day here in Vanua Balavu that it kind of made up for it, although it does mean that hopefully one day we'll get back to Fiji so that we can go to the Southern Lao Group.
We did loads of snorkeling and looking around and swimming in the water, and the fish life and the soft corals was, equally amazing. You can see there the corals dead and knocked around, so the hard coral wasn't quite as good as some of the places, but it was still amazing. We really loved it here. One of the advantages of travelling with our friends from Satara, he's particularly good at flying the drone, so whilst we were zooming around having a good time, he put the drone up and got some footage of us in our dinghy exploring, having a great time. So thanks very much, Keith. It was beautiful. whilst we were driving around in the tender having a good old look, we noticed a lot of little mangrove creeks. So I thought I'd come back to the boat, grab our crab traps out, bait them up, and go and find a spot to put them in the water and see if we couldn't catch ourselves a mud crab. I wasn't real sure whether there was any around there or not, but yeah, it was worth a go. So I bought these crab traps on the Gold Coast 2 years earlier. They're stainless steel rings, which are really handy so they don't get all rusty on your boat. So putting them together here on the lifting platform, nice flat area to put them together, and then load them in the dinghy with Margy, and away we went. We got 3 or 4 tiny little crabs, but nothing to make a meal of. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. We left the Bay of Islands this morning heading for Taveuni to do some more diving on Rainbow Reef and have a look at the Cabbage Patch and a few other dive sites. And we got a beautiful 15 knot breeze at around about 120 degrees to the boat. So we're running our favourite sail, a Screecher, 165 square metres of downwind sail, endless line furler. Just beautiful. Seas are nice and flat. We're making about 8.5, 9 knots, and it's really fantastic sailing today. We did catch quite a few of these little mackerel. They called them walu in Fiji, but we really didn't like the taste of them, so we let them all go. So yesterday, sailing over from the Bay of Islands to Taveuni, we were running downwind at about, I think we had 25 knot true, so we had about 10 to 15 apparent. We're running our downwind sail, our @D, and it has an endless line furler on it, and we've extended the line, or got a loop line made all the way back to the helm, where we could use one of the electric winches just in case we had an emergency and there was only Margy or only me to pull the sail in. So I've done that. It's been working really well, and I've had a couple of snatch blocks like this one that clip on the line, because when you're letting the sail out, the endless line needs to be longer because it's not wrapped around the winch, and you've got to keep pressure on both ends of the line. So we have like a bungee cord on the end of, and we can move the snatch block back along the rail stanchions, and then when we go to furl in, we do 4 wraps around the furler, so the line is shorter, so we move the snatch block further forward to keep the pressure on both ends. You can see with this one, the line has worn, I don't know why, but it's jumped down the side of the pulley and just worn all the rubber away, and then got right down into the pulley there, and now it's chewed our line, pulled the outside casing off our line, so we need to replace that. I think what I'm going to do is just put a stronger type pulley, one permanent one, and snatch block that I can move up and down the line. I'll just show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to bolt that bigger block onto the side of the boat, the gunnel. You can see where I've got the 2 pieces of tape there, and then I'll run that line through there and up and around the main sheet winch. And when I want to let the sail out, I'll loop around that bigger block and take it back to a bungee cord onto another snatch block. So it's quick and simple to do, but hopefully I don't have that drama again with the rope chewing away the side of the pulley. The other thing I have to do is make up a loop with no bump at all, so it'll go through the furler. Certainly no expert at this. I might Google and see whether I'm able to make up, so I have to make a complete loop, and in this case the loop is about 18 metres long, so about 35 metres of line. We hired the Dive Academy people at Viani Bay to go out on this boat. It was a very rough ride, and they took us to Rainbow Reef and the Cabbage Patch. It was unreal.
You got me spinning out of context, not really sure what I should do. This is the reason I am leaving. I can't live with or without you.
really was an amazing structure to scuba over. The whole Cabbage Patch was probably about 100 metres square, and individual parts of it were probably about 1.5 metres tall. Yeah, really substantial. If anybody ever says to you the coral at Rainbow Reef is really brightly coloured, you better believe them.